Chapter 2. The Real Illuminati. Our true selves do not want this game to end. Everything that we can possibly do at this time to save it is being done. No one outside the game has the right to enter the game differently than any other player. If it were allowed that someone could enter this game differently than everybody else does, the game wouldn't be fair to the other players. In order to change the game from within, there need to be players within the game who understand what it is, who understand the real truth about human existence. In order to allow a few players to understand things that are against the rules for everyone else to understand, the rules had to be bent, but not broken. As we connect to the mortal experience through an infant, no one's brain is capable of remembering anything past what they begin to experience after taking their first breath of life. Throughout their life, they cannot remember any life experience other than the one they are living. This is how the mortal brain is supposed to function. Unless a brain is somehow physically altered, it is not able to bypass the connective power of one's true self. The energy level, the power of your advanced brain, repels the reduced energy level of your mortal brain and keeps it at bay. So think of it this way. The energy that the brain produces is like air pressure. If your brain has a high pressure level and it connects to something that has a lower pressure level, it is impossible for the air, the energy, from a lower pressure thing to enter where the higher pressure exists. In order for the lower air pressure to enter a chamber that contains a higher air pressure, the air pressure in the higher chamber must be lowered. Bear with me. The mortal brain chamber is only capable of a certain energy level of air pressure. The advanced brain chamber that is connected to the mortal chamber must be lowered in order for the air to pass into the higher pressured chamber. The laws of mortal human nature on earth do not allow the creation of a chamber of a mortal brain that can handle the higher pressure. Earth life was set up so that the higher pressure from the advanced brain could leach into the mortal brain of a lower pressure, not vice versa. In order for a mortal brain to know and understand things that an advanced brain knows, one's advanced brain must be physically altered, because the mortal brain always remains the same according to the natural law. The higher pressure of the advanced brain must be lowered in order to allow the air pressure in both chambers to equalize. Once equalized, the mortal brain has complete access to what the advanced brain knows. See, knowledge is nothing more than energy gained from life experience, from when we act in an environment and receive energy from that environment, which we store in our brain as memories, as experience. We see, hear, smell, taste, and touch things by the environment in which we live. When we do so, we transfer energy into our brain. When we see something, actual energy from the light of the sun enters our eyes. The energy from the sun creates the image in our brain. Or, in other words, the sun transfers some of its own energy into our brain to create the energy that causes our brain to see. We then store this energy in our brain as a memory. In this way, all knowledge is energy. We, those who are now being revealed to you as the real Illuminati, have normal mortal brains. It is our advanced self's brain that has been altered. We have access to the knowledge that each of our individual true selves have, which the normal mortal person does not. Yet we entered the game just like any other mortal, at least most of us. But because our mortal avatars have failed to fix the problems on Earth according to the set rules, something has to be done. A rule has to be bent in order to allow us to know the real truth of all things so that we can help everyone who doesn't have access to those things know what needs to be done. Our free will, that of us, the real Illuminati, has been impeded and violated. We no longer act with free will like the rest of mortals upon earth because of the knowledge that we now have. However, one of the rules of the game requires support and protection of free will. Therefore, we cannot impede or violate the free will of others. We can only do what other mortals allow us to do. Even if we tried to tell other mortals what we know, if what we tell them feels like their free will is being violated, they will reject what we tell them. We are a very esoteric, a very private group of individuals who work confidentially behind the scenes of society. We oppose superstition. We oppose religious influence over public life. We oppose the abuses of government power. And we oppose the practice of deliberately preventing the facts or full details of things from becoming known by the majority. We exist with the intent to influence critical thinking and free thought in the vigorous effort against corruption, when the acts of authority, whether this authority be governmental, religious, traditional, or cultural, when this authority inhibits individual free will. We are not known or meant to be known by the general populace. This is to protect our existence from the societal or cultural authorities who control human life upon earth, who control you. If we were publicly known, each or any one of us would be propagandistically branded a threat to society, and this means that there'd be all kinds of false information spread about us throughout the media, throughout your leaders, throughout those to whom you look for your understanding and for the facts. And in so doing, we would be removed either by incarceration or assassination, or even imprisonment or death, but at the very least, by alienation. We have introduced ourselves as the real Illuminati. Our name has been perceived to represent a secret society of people working behind the scenes to accomplish something nefarious, something immoral that does not benefit humanity. But the direct opposite is the real truth. We are trying to help humans live together upon earth in a cooperative society of its most perfect form. Human cooperatives, societies, begin as individuals join them, or are forced to join them, sometimes because there is no other option. Humans seek out the group that best serves their individual needs, whatever these needs may be. Humans are social creatures. Humans seek happiness. We seek happiness by our associations with others, choosing which society serves our individual needs. Throughout the history of the earth, we have done everything within our power to ensure a proper existence for all humans. A perfect individual human existence, life upon earth, is when a person can exercise unconditional free will that serves the physical and emotional needs of that person without impeding or affecting the free will of another. Nothing that we, the real Illuminati, have done, are doing, or will ever do, impedes the free will of another person. We do not force, we do not obstruct, and we do not do anything that violates any person's free will. If we did, we would be doing things that are directly opposed to why we do what we do, which is protecting and supporting free will. If the rich are in power, we do all that we can to work towards a more perfect life without threatening their riches or power. If the poor rise up and threaten to unite and take the power away from the rich, we do all that we can to help the poor devise a way that will not affect the free will of the rich. With our help, we have been able to assist the people of Earth to create societies and cultures in the past that have moved forward progressively to serve and protect individual free will. We have done this by providing the knowledge and understanding necessary to influence governments and ideologies. But our greatest enemies have always been religion, patriotism, nationalism, and human pride and ego. The protection and support of individual free will is the overall goal of our group. Nothing is more important to human existence than individual free will. When any particular or collective human interactions that form a society or culture lead to acts that threaten human life and or individual free will, we do everything within our power to counter such threats. We are not magical. We are not superhuman. Our weapons are knowledge of how things really are, of how things have really been in the past. With this understanding, it provides us with a clearer picture of how things are really going to be in the future. We call this knowledge real truth. There is a big difference between knowledge and understanding. You can know a lot of things, but not really understand them. Our motivation, purpose, and strength come from our understanding of the things that we know. Everything that we know centers around individual human existence and the ability of each person to exercise free will in the pursuit of happiness. Throughout history, the secret combination of political, philosophical, and business powers has greatly diminished the ability of a person to pursue happiness according to that person's own desires. Wherever and whenever this secret combination has existed, so have we, in some form or another. But we are forced to keep our identities secret. Unlike these secret combinations, we eagerly spread the real truth for free without any single member of our real group taking personal credit for the incredible truth that we reveal. The real truth can destroy the power that these secret combinations, these purveyors of injustice, hold over the general public, that they hold over you. These secret combinations withhold the real truth and deliberately prevent the facts or full details about what they do behind the scenes from becoming known. If the way that these secret combinations gain and hold their power and control over the masses were known, if you really knew what was happening behind the scenes, the masses, instead of the few, could take back their freedom and free will and be in power and control, a power and control of the people, by the people, and for the people. As this combination of philosophical, religious, and economic power proceeds in the dark, we fight to bring their secret acts to light. Currently, these purveyors of injustice hold power over the minds and hearts of the masses. They use this mind control to get the people to do their bidding. Folks, you might think that nobody controls your mind. This might be a sense of individual pride and self-worth to you, that nobody controls what you think. That's a deception. A deception that until you can get over, you'll never learn anything that's true. If you're honest with yourself, think about the things that you believe. Think about the things that you know. Your mind was controlled by those who put those things in your head. Unless the things that you think and the things that you believe are completely original, they've never been thought of before, someone in your past has used control over your mind in order to introduce those things to you. Don't deceive yourself into thinking that nobody controls your mind. Think about those things. Because it is our work to reveal many of the things that these people do in secret, they use their power over your mind and over your heart to cause you to fear our name. We are the enlightened ones, the Illuminati, albeit the real Illuminati. We are real because we do not keep things secret. If possible, we would shout the real truth from the housetops. These false claimants, who pretend to be enlightened, who poison our name, they value their secrecy. The false Illuminati have secret societies, secret initiations, and are no better than the purveyors of injustice that we seek to uncover. In fact, many of these secret false ones are powerful members of society. They are politicians, philosophical leaders of science and religion, and business leaders. These claim that their works done in secret hold society together, that without them, society would fail. Yet, society has failed and is failing. The false Illuminati are just as responsible for this failure as those we seek to expose. When we speak the real truth openly, these false ones rally their corruptible troops. From the media that they own and from the pulpit where they spew their fabrications and control your minds, these false ones bolster and excite their troops to fight us. We, the real Illuminati, also rally our own troops. But our numbers are few, very few. We have a mantra that has been passed around in many different ways. This rallying cry inspires us against our enemies and outlines the protocol by which our true messengers operate. We had our hand in contributing many things to the story from which this mantra is taken. Quote, "Fear them not, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops." Unquote. It is important to keep in mind that everything that we have done, everything that we do, and everything that we will ever do protects the free will of the individual in a peaceful way. Although many of our messengers have been killed for sharing our message with others, we have never used violence towards another. We have never supported or influenced the use of violence towards another. Instead of the need to defend ourselves, we do not place ourselves in situations in which we might need to. We assimilate our presence into the society in which we operate. We choose a society based on the desires of the people. We seek out a society where the bulk of its population is seeking for the same goals that we are. Throughout history, we have helped certain societies defend themselves against aggression by giving certain craftsmen, scientists, or researchers ideas that spark technological inventions which have led to weapons that the aggressor does not possess. Our intent in providing these types of advanced weaponry and knowledge was to dissuade the aggressor from continuing an offensive against another society. We do not support vengeance or a vindictive offense, regardless of the amount of destruction and misery the aggressor might have caused. We were responsible for providing the scientific knowledge to the right people in order to place the control of nuclear energy, nuclear power, in the hands of the United States of America to stop the rise of fascism in Europe. When the German nation extolled the white race above all other races and began a systematic massacre to eliminate individuals, it needed to be stopped. European scientists held most of the keys to modern nuclear technology. These keys were available to the Axis powers, but there were certain scientific principles that they lacked. To stop Germany and the other malicious European countries from succeeding, we provided the rest of the needed nuclear intelligence to America and its allies. Our intent for sharing this knowledge and understanding with the United States included the hope that the United States would retain this incredible new power on earth for the purpose of protecting and supporting individual human rights. Our attempts to counsel and influence the United States government to protect individual free will has failed. The United States shared its nuclear technology information with other countries that were not established on the concept of unconditional freedom in the pursuit of individual happiness. This mishap led to further instability throughout the world, a mishap that we are obligated to try to correct. We have a warning for the people of Earth. You either unite as one human race and begin to treat each person equally and with equity. You either end worldwide poverty and provide each human with the basic necessities of life free of charge, or we are going to allow this solar system to be destroyed. This world is no longer moving forward. It is progressively moving backwards. Our last hope and only hope is to provide the people of Earth with the knowledge and the understanding necessary to stop the world from going backwards, to help propel it forward. We intend to share our knowledge, and more importantly, our understanding of the past and present so that the future can be salvaged. If the world rejects this knowledge and continues on a slippery slope of human degradation, individual slavery, the inability to exercise free will, ethnic, religious, and national division, we are going to allow this solar system to be destroyed. In a few basements throughout this world, there are young, ingenious, yet inexperienced scientists who are experimenting with nuclear fusion, the power that created our sun. If our true selves, to which a mortal transfigured brain can have full access, find no more use for life upon earth, then one of these young scientists' true self's brain will be transfigured just enough to allow the boy to access the missing keys needed to replicate the creation of a sun. Upon his experimentation, a new sun will be created that destroys this solar system. A logical question might be asked about why we claim to have the authority and power to end human life in this part of the universe. We do not need to claim that we have the power to create a new sun, because it is not a claim. Our true selves already possess this knowledge and will only use it similarly to how and for the purpose for which we use the same knowledge to help the Allies win the last World War. The same source that provided us with the knowledge and authority to share nuclear technology with the Americans will provide a young scientist with the necessary understanding of fusion needed to create a new sun. We are beholden to this source of knowledge. It is not a supernatural, magical, or divine source. It is a human source. We hold this knowledge carefully and responsibly. Our true selves will only use it to end this solar system for the same reason that it was created in the first place, to serve the needs of the individuals who live here, who are the ones who also created it. One of these needs mortals have during this experience is to understand who they are and why they exist. Religions are formed as humans attempt to answer these questions. We have tried to influence societies by providing true messengers who can provide the proper religion, one that supports free will. But we have learned from sad experience how easily our good intentions have been corrupted and ignored by the people who receive our message. The original message given to the people by our true messenger, if not changed by the people, would fulfill the purpose for which we shared it, to bring peace, prosperity, and happiness to the human race. Religion is the culprit that has caused most, if not all, of the inequality and misery upon earth. Religion has corrupted the earth experience and changed it from what it was supposed to be. Religion has the most powerful effect on the human mind, which leads to how humans act. Because of this, we had to use religion against itself. Everything that we have done through religion was done with the hope that we could help mortals change the playing field and make life on earth fair and equal for all people. Because, as we have explained, if we fail to do it ourselves, if our mortal avatars cannot accomplish this, those who created Earth will destroy it and start again. We have the knowledge to help humanity. We will tell you not only what needs to be done, but how it can be done. We will give the people currently living on planet Earth all the details that they need in order to improve life upon this planet, as it was meant to be by the creators of the game of mortal life. Until our true selves have given up on our mortal avatars, we will continue to do everything we can to help save humanity. To do so, we must confront religion.